Yo, Knicks fans, what's good? Welcome to Old School Knicks. Man, we just jumped off having a debate about the Knicks young core. Wow. So you know me, y'all know me, man. Instead of just beefing about whatever, blase, people coming in, no, Obi is better than such and such. RJ is the GOAT. Quickly is the next Steph Curry. Let's put it on paper. Let's make this argument make sense. So we recap that. But I got AD coming in. He'll be here. He told me 1 minute, so that means 13 minutes in real time, right? What I wanted to talk about, though, which y'all, since I have a few of y'all here, is, and this is old school Knicks, y'all, right? Kristaps Porzingis. I think Kristaps Porzingis is legit the gift that keeps on giving, right? The gift that keeps on giving, right? Hey, Jay Boogie. So I don't put the link in the chat for this one. I'll send it to you though. Check your phone. This right here is a closed setting. You know what I'm saying? Just for us to talk old school Knicks, but I'm gonna send it to your phone. So just give me a second, Jay Boogie. Yeah, man. So I want to talk about some Kristaps Porzingis with y'all real quick. So going into the Porzingis draft, I don't know if y'all remember what the feeling was like going into the Porzingis draft. Some dude named Maurice Endower, whatever his name is, hit a game winner in a game with us versus, I think it was the Pistons or somebody that wears red, white, and blue. I don't know. It was Detroit or Philly or DC or somebody. Both teams were clearly tanking, right? I think at the end of the game, teams got I think the other team messed around and got it. Hold on for just a second. Oh, okay. All right. Jay Boogie, what's good? Can you hear me?
Good morning, brother. Happy Sunday. One of the year. I hear you, brother. Over and clear.
Yeah, man. Good, because your Giants is going down today, bro.
Well,
Your Giants get ready to take this L.
I thought it was a new year.
Yeah, it's a new year.
Oh, that's right. You got slash orange New York Knicks slash Chicago Bears on the day. I forgot you
Yeah,
were Chicago Bear.
bro.
Almost,
Blue and orange is blue and orange, bro.
yeah, but you got that black, orange, and white.
Yeah, I know. Y'all got our draft pick, man, and y'all so excited. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, we got y'all draft pick. So what? We got a quarterback. What y'all got? Y'all got a quarterback?
No,
Just saying. Just
no,
saying.
we don't have a quarterback. I almost thought come on the show. I was looking for my mom's so I could, you can't go to, gotta have a little guidance sometimes. I thought I couldn't come on the show for a moment.
Well, talking about with this? Nah, man, the format is different. Like we just be doing different formats for different shows. Because even like the one that just went off, right? The one we did, we was like we was crystal clear. We was like, yo, so we got a topic that we want to stick to. If you come on the joint, just stick to the topic. As soon as we let people in, we got off topic.
Right.
You
Now,
know what I'm
now,
saying?
now I'm talking about my age. This old school.
Nah,
I'm talking
nah,
this old school Knicks. I thought I was too young.
You ain't too young for this one, bro.
Dang.
You definitely ain't too young for this one because you might remember a Michael Ray Richardson, man, a Trent Tucker. You might
Sugar.
remember a Bill Cartwright. You know what I'm saying? You might, depending on.
Trent went and got that ring in Chicago and stayed over there. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't that frustrating? Bill Cartwright get a ring with somebody else. Ain't that frustrating?
Yeah, I mean, but he deserved it. You deserve it. Bill deserved it.
Yeah, Bill Cartwright deserve. Yeah, I like Bill Cartwright. Okay, so here go my guy, man. I gotta do. Yeah, so AD is backstage, and you know he a superstar, bro. You know you got to do everything right for AD, man. His champagne got to be of a certain yeah. Let me do it right for AD. AD, what's good, sir?
You know, I heard that slight that you hit me with. You know, champagne got to be right, pillows got to be right, everything got to
Yeah,
be right. I'm a star of another class.
I know this.
They should be right.
Right, right. They better be right, or I won't be able to retain your services. I understand this, bro. I understand
Absolutely.
that it's champagne, caviar, and bubble baths. See, that's the life that I lead.
That
You
I
suck at
lead.
MC. I listen. I understand
Absolutely.
how it go. I understand how it go, bro.
Absolutely. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jay Boogie.
Good
Happy
morning.
New Year to both of you. Happy New Year to Nick Nation. Happy New Year to everybody out there in the chat. Hopefully everybody had a peace and blessing. Happy New Year and made it to another year. And we're safe. And stay safe because this bug is out here. It ain't going anywhere. It's just getting worse. So
Yes.
everyone out there, you and your families, please. I know it's the holiday season and we want to kick up. And we want to step out there in our new gators and all of that. But let's be safe. Let's be on the side of caution. All right. Enough with the pleasantries. Let's get it.
Right. Kristaps Porzingis.
Bum.
Kristaps Porzingis is the gift that keeps on giving. All right.
Has he bared fruit yet? What fruit has he bared?
Who? Porzingis?
Yeah. Maybe I'm off. I'm still in 2021. What fruit has Kristaps Porzingis bared for this organization?
Derrick Rose.
Do you
likey Derrick Rose? You know likey Derrick Rose.
That's like some of my favorite Sanford and Son episodes when they try to introduce Fred to some high class wine and he pull out Ripple out of his pocket. You know what I'm saying? He Ripple. He that's all he is. He $2 wine. And you can run to the store and get. That's all he is. He $2 wine. That's it.
Come on, bro.
That we can sit on the corner and pour it out and shooby dooby 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 and have a couple of bars.
Come on, man. It's Derrick Rose.
Stop playing.
Don't make the chat hate you already, bro. Don't make the chat hate you already.
That's fine. I'm used to it. I'm used to my own thoughts, my own expressions. Derrick Rose is $2 wine back in the days. It's not even $2 anymore. It's like $5. Derrick Rose $5 wine. Get out of here with that, Derrick Rose.
Come on, man. Kristaps Porzingis, the trade got you Derrick Rose, right?
Please tell me and Jay Boogie, how did that happen?
You traded Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, Trey Burks to the Dallas Mavericks for Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, 2 first-round picks, and DeAndre Jordan. And the Knicks, a year later, traded Dennis Smith Jr., who they got in the Kristaps Porzingis trade, and the I forget what kind of pick it is, or whatever it was, and they wound up getting Derrick Rose. Is that
I'm
not a
sorry,
fact?
I'm just the timeline was a fact, but here's some of the facts that you're missing. Okay, and I hate to go back to that, but hey, why not? You brought it up. This is your segment. You brought it up. The Knicks did all of that to clear cap space.
Right.
They had they didn't even know Derrick Rose was still alive.
Right.
Right? They did all of that to clear cap space for a superstar.
Right.
To get some Bel Air, to get some Dom Pérignon.
Yeah.
To get some high class wine.
Right.
But we ended up at ShopRite in the back aisle with that cooking wine. Yeah. That's what Derrick is.
Right. But I mean, but we can't help that, bro.
Let's stop it. And when
but my point was the Kristaps Porzingis is the gift that keeps on giving.
That's a temporary gift. That's the kind of wine you cook with today, and you maybe use it again tomorrow, but you're definitely not using it next week. And that's no disrespect to Derrick Rose, because Derrick Rose, he rescued us part of the rescue last year. No. It's not disrespectful, because Derrick Rose, without proper front linemen, he's what I said. He's temporary. It's okay. You see, you can't see the beauty of Derrick Rose because we asked too much of him. And then we brought him back on a contract that they say is team friendly. I don't say that's team friendly.
I don't either.
You see? So if this season continues to go to where this season continues to go, and I heard the coach mention something about, Derrick Rose he's coming along real well. I hate after anyone, and Jay Boogie, maybe you could talk to this. When you have surgery and somebody cuts into your body, it's surgery. There's no quick, antidote for that. It's surgery.
I understand that, bro.
Especially in the pandemic. You gotta recuperate. You gotta get things together. Like in 8 weeks. When did he have surgery? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks of
Jay
2
Boogie,
weeks.
save young fella, bro. Save young fella from himself. Because I understand he a young dude, he don't get it. Right. So throw him a life raft, Jay Boogie.
Please, Boogie, come in here to save me.
Right. So here's the thing. You are talking about Derrick Rose not being available, but when we traded Porzingis, guess what? He wasn't available.
When we traded Porzingis, no, he wasn't. He and pretty much his whole career he wasn't available with us, and he's been mishmash with Dallas. But we traded him for dreams of something bigger and greater. That's just facts. We didn't trade him for $2 wine. We didn't trade him for Ripple. Just didn't. Boogie, come in here, baby.
I think that trade is still out to be determined. I mean, be honest with you. I mean, when I saw Porzingis, I had high hopes for him. You know what I'm saying? I thought we had something, but once they made him change everything about his game, including the weight, put the weight on him and all that, and it tore his game all the way up. And then the ruckus came, him and his brother or whatever, and we got rid of him. I didn't miss him once he left. To be honest with you, but too many injuries, man, amongst his career. And then Rose got injuries too. It's a miracle that Rose even was playing this good over last year, leading up to this year and his injury. It was a miracle. And that comes from hard work and determination and dedication. And that's what I thought was going to carry over into Kimber. I thought that was the reason why Kimber also came over here to find out how do you play with these injuries and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Be careful. Be careful. Be careful when you mention the K word, because you know that that ain't $2 wine. That's 99 cents wine. And see, that's what
So
we've done. That's what we've done as an organization. Bargain basement shopping. That's it. And this is the part of where my wrath comes from. And it's not at those guys personally. And I hate attaching that kind of connotation to those two gentlemen. But those two gentlemen with this team presently constituted, and the mindset that these guys had coming into the season was not going to be the engine to lead us to another round. Let's say we play Atlanta again, we beat Atlanta, or we could beat Atlanta with those acquisitions, and we get to another round. Because look at Kemba. All the steam has been gone. The NBA Player of the Month or the Player of the Week has been gone. He's back to Kemba. He's back to Kemba. Can only give you so much at a certain time, because what? The coach thought, I could play this guy 40 plus minutes for 3 straight games in a row. What did that get us? Now you got now the injury, now the knee is sore. It was already sore. Let me make up a word. It's sorer.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I believe we was gonna use the plan and run him into the ground like D Rose last year. You're gonna run him all the way in.
For what? You don't. If you're gonna run him all the way in, the mindset should be, because I got that thoroughbred that just need this wise jockey, and this wise jockey is gonna whip that into that last furlong, and maybe we can win the Belmont Stakes. See what I'm saying? Maybe we can capture one of the Triple Crown. I can't win all 3, but maybe we can do one. You don't have a thoroughbred. In this analogy, you don't have a thoroughbred. You have a team that's not put together appropriately. And I know Freezie gonna come back in here after eating his sandwich, and he's gonna be, fellas, let's go back to old school Knicks. No,
Fellas, let's go back to old school Knicks.
We are talking old school Knicks. That was last year. We this year now, so we can talk about them. That was last year. That's 2021. You see, and this is the.
But you missed my point though, bro. You
no, because please give us your point, because
the point was Kristaps Porzingis is the gift that keeps on giving. And you asked me what gift. You asked me what gift.
I didn't see the first gift, but tell me the second gift. Tell me the second part of this gift that keeps giving.
So let me. I'm trying to understand it too. What you're saying is the gift that he keeps on giving is the being able to constantly continue on using the money to make different moves that we would have been spending on him because he's no longer here.
No. The salary cap stuff, our front office is too inept. They're not smart enough. They Keystone Cops, bro. They are Abbott and Costello with the money. What I'm saying is the other stuff that they can't mess up, like draft picks. The 2 draft picks we got for Dallas, they are still unused.
Right.
So we can still use the 2 Dallas draft picks, bro. That's still out there, right? And we can use, as a matter of fact, we use one of those draft picks to pick up another asset. We trade it back. So now we have that draft pick and a second round pick in 2024, plus the first round pick in 2023. And so if we keep moving these draft picks back, we can acquire more and more assets with it. Thus, the gift that keeps on giving.
What is this, Easter? We're rolling away. We're rolling away the stone. You know, we're waiting for the second coming. That's the nonsense you're talking right now. You're getting me upset.
Be upset with the front office, because I wanted your front office to pick a player and develop him, as opposed to pushing this back and getting a draft pick in a weaker draft.
Here's the problem with draft picks, and I know you see this.
I know you're gonna say they wind up being Obi Toppin. They be all hyped up. They don't turn out to be nothing. And then we just hype them up for 4 years. And then after 4 years,
I know you wanted that Obi Toppin smoke, but I don't know why you bring smoke to a chimney. I don't know why you do that.
Because chimneys love smoke, bro. They meant to be
I
together.
don't know why, no, we give off smoke. I don't know why you do that. I don't know why would you want to do that.
What is a chimney without smoke?
Smokeless, but we
It's just
never
a structure.
smokeless.
It's just bricks.
We got Yuletide logs underneath it to burn up. Okay.
Right.
Here's
I feel you.
Here's what I'm saying with that. With
He
the
said
sticks.
it's just bricks.
Yeah,
it's just bricks, bro.
Here's what I'm saying with that. We don't know the next great player in high school, the junior high school. We just don't know. And when we put all our eggs in that basket, that's not sound foundation building. It's just not. They don't know who's going to be the next Kenny Anderson, who's going to be the next LeBron.
I know who the next Kenny Skywalker is, though.
And that's so unfair of you. Here are you killing a man, right, that should not have been drafted by this organization with your favorite player still on the team. And you've been killing him all week. You've been calling him Kenny Skywalker never looked this good in 5 years in a Knicks uniform. The best thing Kenny Skywalker did in 5 years was win a slam dunk competition, which Obi did not do, which he should have won last year. They robbed him last year.
Okay.
Yeah, chop low it. All of that. You're killing Obi. You want Obi to be something on a team where he plays 13 minutes a game. What is he supposed to do? Score 13 points in those 13 minutes? Grab 9 rebounds in 13 minutes? I don't understand the disgust that you have for Obi all of a sudden.
Who averaged more points per game in their rookie year? Obi or Kenny Skywalker? It's a trick question, by the way.
I'm gonna say Kenny did because Kenny played more minutes.
Right. Who averaged more points? Who averaged more points per game in their second year?
I'm gonna say Obi.
I'm just asking you.
Obi's averaging more points than Kenny did in the second year because Kenny probably averaged what he did as a rookie in his second year.
No, I'm just saying this is a trick question, bro.
I'm saying
I want you to say the other option because I don't want you to be wrong.
No, I'm saying Obi.
And you would be wrong. Obi. You would be wrong.
And who's played more minutes, him or Kenny?
Well, hey, hold on, man. I got a baby crying in the background or something. Because that's the same conversation that I hear all the time, man. It's a Frank Ntilikina conversation.
Yeah,
bro.
but you can he's averaging. Can we agree? Can we agree to say that? Well, Obi's playing not enough minutes. Can we agree with that?
No. Friday night he played 27 minutes and got you 5 points against a team with all their bigs out.
Yeah, he got you. He got you 9, but you saw that game, Freezie. He took 5 shots. They ran 5 shots for him, and I knew you were gonna go there with this. You were waiting for him to get a decent amount of minutes, so you use one little piece of a season to try and help your argument to call him Kenny Skywalker.
I actually want to talk about Porzingis. But
you couldn't want to talk about Porzingis because you interjected Obi in this conversation. You, not me, not Boogie. You did this,
bro. This dude is. If you wouldn't have said that about draft picks, I wouldn't have said Obi. If you wouldn't have said that about draft picks being blah blah blah, I wouldn't even brought up Obi, bro. I wouldn't have.
You're like a sleeping volcano. You've been waiting to erupt on Obi since. In fact, you were erupting on Obi last year as a rookie. Keep it a buck. There's shows where you mount St. Helen all over Obi.
Pause.
Okay?
But yeah, I feel what you're saying. You were saying, Uncle Freezie, it's not fair that you want your lottery pick power forward with a 44-inch vertical to get you 5 or 6 rebounds. That's not fair, Uncle Freezie. That's what you're saying to me right now. That's what I'm hearing.
You know what I did for this? Because you're so predictable, right? And I knew you would say something like this because I know once you get on a topic, you hold on to it. You like old Yeller. You hold on to that bone. You know,
Yeah.
you want that scrap to the very last one. You want to take a look at what Sean Kemp did in his first 2 seasons of his career. You don't even have to. I can tell you.
I did. We discussed this already.
Right. Sean Kemp never. I think Sean Kemp only averaged 20 points in his career in his entire career.
The Cleveland years.
Not even Cleveland years. I think the one time he did it was like in the season they went to the finals, where he averaged like 20. I think it was 20.9 or something like that for his total career.
That wasn't it. He only did it once. 1999. He did it for Cleveland.
Right.
He averaged 20 and
he
a half.
only did it once, right?
Yeah.
His entire career, he averaged, I think, 14.6 or 14.8 points. But when we think about Sean Kemp, we think about an explosive, athletic player that was on par with none at that time. Even today, a lot of players was not him. But he had a certain kind of swagger, certain kind of situation that if Gary Payton didn't become Gary Payton, Sean Payton wouldn't have been Sean Payton. Sean Kemp, excuse me. Sean Kemp wouldn't have become Sean Kemp. These are the parts of the game that you're missing, Freezie. He needs same thing like with Barrett. They need the organization to pay attention to them. They're the middle childs crying out. You're missing this.
Hold on, I got a meme. I got a meme up here somewhere.
There we go.
There we
go. Because that's what you do. You disrespect your young. That's what you do. You disrespect your young.
OB fans be like,
you're the kind of parent that kicks over the participation trophy.
No.
You know, because you didn't care he participated. As long as he didn't win, you didn't care. You know, you was one of those kids that would steal the gold star for somebody's work because you didn't like the red and the blue star. You had to have the gold star.
For real, Freezie?
No, I'm not like that. I'm not a bully like that. No, I'm a good dude. AD slandering. He's slandering my character right here in front of everybody. But listen, I'm not. The thing with Obi is what he is, and he is a separate conversation. I would rather leave Obi in the conversation that he in. I wanted to talk about KP. Porzingis is the gift that keeps on giving. He is.
What's the second gift?
What do you mean the second gift?
You said it keeps on giving. You told us about the first gift. What's the second gift in the Freezie analogy?
The draft picks.
Oh, Jesus.
The actual first gift was the cap space. Remember, you brought that up. The cap space for us to get a star that wasn't coming.
Okay.
That was the first gift. The second gift was Derrick Rose. The third gift is the draft picks. The initial draft picks. The fourth gift is the second round pick we got for trading one of those draft picks.
Let me ask you a question, Freezie. And this is not just for you, but for you and Boogie. When we had KP, and let's put him in KP mania, by the middle of the first season into the second season, fans thought that this is the next coming of Ewing-ish. Right?
Yeah. When he dunked on Kevin Love. Remember the putback dunk on Kevin Love?
Absolutely.
Belly? Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember that. I remember some of his great games that he had, very good games that he had. Did you ever think that you would be having an argument less than 2 years later that draft picks, right, to a team like Dallas that has probably one of the top 3 players in today's game to play alongside of him.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Draft picks. So that means as long as Luka's not hurt, those draft picks are going to be somewhere 25, 26, 27, 28, possibly even 30. Right? Those draft picks would be something to look forward to off of you have a dude that was supposed to be your cornerstone for 10, 12 years.
Right.
Did you ever think that you would say that? Look what we have brought that move down to, because we're grasping at straws so bad from that trade. Look what we've done to that trade. We don't even talk about Dennis Smith Jr. anymore because it was so bad for him here. And he was so bad a player here, right? We're looking at picks in the latter 20s as something to hold on to as fruits
AD,
from
you
a
moving
guy
too
that was
fast.
supposed
You
to
moving
be
too
an
fast.
all-star here for 12 years.
You moving too fast. Let's talk about it. So you
Go
said
ahead.
Dallas with Luka is blase blah, right? You know what Dallas is with Luka, bro, right now? They have the same amount of wins as your New York Knicks.
They will not end up like that.
Listen. I don't want to bring out the crystal ball just yet on predicting the thing because
we know it.
And at the end of the day, we might be better than them. So I don't want to pull out the crystal ball on that. What I do want to say though is acknowledge that last year with Luka, that pick was not 25, 26, 27, possibly 30. It was 23rd. Right?
2 slots higher.
You said it sounds like semantics, right? But no, it's not semantics.
It's
right?
2 slots higher.
Nah, man, I'm just saying. So what I'm getting at is this. The fact that we have a gift horse should not be something that we should take lightly, bro.
A gift horse.
This Porzingis trade is a gift horse. Because at the end of the day, you remember, and I forget the name of the. I don't know if it was the Sixers or the Pistons or the Wizards, but you remember the tank game where the two coaches was trying to lose the game, Knicks versus somebody. I think it was Detroit, and the Knicks emptied their bench halfway through the third quarter in a tight game trying to tank, and some dude named Maurice Endower, who was a power forward, came in and played center at 6'8", 200 pounds. Right? 6'8", 200 pounds, played center, right? And so it's one of them deals where they knew they were tanking, and the dude hit a buzzer beater. And that prevented us from getting Karl-Anthony Towns. We wound up getting Kristaps Porzingis.
No, what prevented us from getting Karl-Anthony Towns was the Knicks had a gentleman named Langston Galloway. And at the end of that season, Langston Galloway all of a sudden looked like the super sub from the CBL that won like 4 games by himself.
I remember that.
And the coach refused to sit him down, right? Not even Karl-Anthony Towns. If you want to keep it a buck, we weren't going to draft Karl-Anthony Towns. They would have took what's the name from Duke.
Whoever.
They would have took.
But
what's his name? His name skips me.
Jahlil
Okafor, a man who was born 20 years too late.
Right. Well, in my opinion, I think it's better than being born 20 years too early. But anyway, what I'm getting at is if the Knicks didn't want Karl-Anthony Towns at 1, they would have traded back and got more assets to take Jahlil Okafor at 2. Right? They could have traded back to 2 and got 3 first-round picks and the number 2 pick. Right? And so what I'm getting at is the whole Kristaps Porzingis scenario. It centers around us fumbling the bag at every opportunity, and no matter how often we change personnel, that bag is still greasy. I don't know why we got the greasiest bag, bro. We fumble. It's too slick for us to hold on to.
Because we're holding on to. That's the kind of trade, Freezie, where us as Knicks fans, it would serve us better to put the Christmas sweater away for 5 years and leave it in the back of the closet. It's a part of our history that doesn't serve us well remembering. We didn't get that trade, and I know you're picking up the good parts of that trade, but that trade does not serve us well because he was supposed to be the next coming. And you don't trade the next coming for a bucket of fries and wings, and then a couple of years later, you get to sit here and be like, well, hey, look at that. We got number 23 from that. And you don't get to do that with something that precious. See what I'm saying? You just don't. And I'm not calling KP a great player, but for us, and I made this point before a couple of years ago, he was our LeBron. He was our cornerstone. You don't trade your cornerstone for some afterthoughts and then go back and pretty it up. No. We got to call it what it is at that time.
Because I'd be jumping for joy if them draft picks that we traded out for Porzingis and all that would have turned into a Bradley Beal.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'd have been jumping for joy on that type thing.
Me too.
But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But listen, I got to jump off. Just move my mom's into a new crib. I got to help unpack before the Giants come. But I know y'all having a major versus battle, so I'm gonna cast my vote in. You know what I'm saying, at the end of the show, man. But real quick, I really wanted to come on so AD could get at me. He was supposed to got at me. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna say that for another
say a couple of seconds here.
Let me give you a
couple of seconds here, J Boogie, because I was very disgusted.
Don't change the topic.
I'm not going to change the topic, but I was very disgusted with you.
We got Monday through Friday. Keep it calm.
Okay.
But I also wanted to let you know on that beautiful intro that Freezie put together for you, as he has done for all of us. I noticed you ain't noticed in the chat that day when he world premiered, I was going, hey, yo, spit. Hey, yo, spit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's what you used to put for graffiti.
He looking like spit graffiti. You know, hey, yo, spit, what you doing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that intro. I was giving Freezie a whole lot of slack, flack about those crispy Pringles looking, stars dropping out the skies. It didn't fit. I don't think it fit none of our personalities, but he somehow went back into the Freezie lab. And I think he captured all of us in ways that we didn't think that was coming.
And I had to shut down the video too because I couldn't get in contact with you. You know, I needed that watch for your bar that I spit. So you can keep watching. I had no way of contact you, but God bless you guys. I'm gonna see y'all in the week, man, Monday and everything. Everybody continue on staying healthy and safe. That thing is out there. Practice on staying healthy, safe. Protect your loved ones and your family, man. God bless everybody. Y'all have a great on first Sunday of the year, man. Salute. 3 capital S's.
Come Freezie, Boogie. Next Sunday, come back. We're gonna start the show with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. And I'm gonna holler at you, all right? My brother.
All right.
Yeah, man. So I didn't mean to get you off center, bro, with the Porzingis thing, but the Porzingis thing is real, man. It's legit. We are still reaping the benefits of the Porzingis trade right now, right? Just the fact that we got Derrick Rose and cap space alone should have been enough to get out of that deal, because the environment for KP at the time was better. It was sour in New York.
Do you remember the owner, and I mentioned this before, came on national radio and embarrassed himself?
The fan, yeah.
Okay. That's what digging up this trade does for us. It brings back bad memories because we can all find things from that time that we need to move away from. You see, I don't think that trade bared us any fruit, because if you really want to get greasy with it, that trade bared fruits to the team next door, a borough down, because those two guys were supposed to be in our uniform. That's why we traded him. Keep it a buck. That's why we traded him.
You know, right? You could have traded Porzingis for Anthony Davis and didn't.
You've heard me say that a million times. That That's the angle that I thought management should have been going, which is one of the reasons why I never understood why this management kept Perry. Because Perry was here at that time with carte blanche to try and get something done and got nothing done.
You got nothing done.
So this management right here kept that guy, gave him a contract extension because you know what? He fits their profile of, let's talk about it.
Oh, geez, bro.
You know that? You know those guys that you know whatever they got a new plan. Yo, I'm gonna do this. Yo, I'm gonna do that. Yo, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Yo, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Or people who make New Year's resolutions. They like talking about it. It sounds good.
Right.
It's the classic pump fake.
Right. No, I feel you.
You saw that movie Top 5 with Chris Rock, and he's the double dutch scene, and he's there.
Right.
He's jumping in. He's jumping in. And they're like an hour later, jump in. And he's still there.
Yeah, I know.
He's still there. That's what. And I hate that. I hate managements who move like that because you scared.
That's what you got right now. That's what you got right now.
You scared. You scared to make a move. You sitting there in your luxurious jobs and suites, and you're holding one of the precious managerial jobs in all of sports, not in New York, not in the NBA, in all of sports, and you afraid to come out of the corner swinging. You see what I'm saying? You afraid to upset the apple cart. So what if you traded Julius Randle? So what? You want to hold on to him. You want to hold on to him like the Knicks once traded one of the top 75 players at 27, 28 years old. See what I'm saying? When we look at, we talked about this before. When the Knicks got Bob McAdoo, from the Buffalo Braves at that time.
Rochester Royals? Was it Rochester Royals?
Right? We're talking about upstate New York.
Buffalo Braves. Yeah, you're right.
And I mentioned this before. Fans, go take a look at Bob McAdoo's first 6 seasons. Better yet, his first 4. Right? Some astronomical numbers.
Right.
The Knicks traded him.
Yeah.
A season and a half into his regime because of bad management
and bad coaching.
But you don't know what to, but it's bad management because you don't know what to do with that.
Right.
You see, you don't know what to. God,
even worse, they traded a young, troubled point guard, knowing that historically they had trouble getting point guards. They hit in the draft on one point guard, right, on Clyde Frazier, but for the other 75 years, right, or the other 65 years, I should say, without Clyde, whatever, they swung and missed on point guards, right? So they traded Michael Ray Richardson for some random dude just because he was from New York, because he can score. They just traded for like a random small forward that can score just because he was from Brooklyn.
Is that what?
Because they wanted to sell tickets.
I'm glad you did that. Let's go to the good, the bad, and the ugly.
He was not a leader. He was not a leader of men, right? He wasn't nothing. The dude, all he did was score for the Knicks in 208 games because he had carte blanche to score whenever he wanted to. Let's start with the good.
Let's start with the good. Fans, this is where Uncle Freezie and I are going to part ways on some vicious stuff, and I want you guys to stay locked in because this probably be some of the best of Uncle Freezie and Anthony D that you'll ever get in the
And
beginning of the year.
the chat is on fire. The chat got
It-
putting stuff
it-
in the chat. They act like they want some of this smoke. Y'all better stay in that chat.
Chat, throw some stuff up in there, and we'll get to it.
They listen. They don't want to come on the screen in this conversation. Stay in your place, right? Keep your fingers working good, because if you come on this screen and try to break up me and Anthony D, collateral damage will happen.
The good.
All right.
The Knicks found a gem in Michael Ray Richardson, a kid out west. I think he's originally
Denver, Colorado.
The Denver, Colorado area, right? Yeah. Not fatherless, but didn't have the father figure in his life or his father to help him get with a mama's boy, right? Somehow, management at the time, and Willis Reed was our general manager at the time, found him, brings him to the organization, and he's doing wonderful things. If you know the story of Michael Ray Richardson, he's doing wonderful things. So they kind of found the next Clyde, or better yet, Clyde 2.0.
Because a bigger, more athletic Clyde.
Yes, athletically, Clyde can't do nothing like Michael Ray Richardson.
Right.
In fact, if you want to keep it a buck, on court play, Clyde can't do nothing like Michael Ray Richardson. Like his wiggle, his whatever you wanted, Clyde, Michael Ray had it for you. Whatever you wanted, he could do. Right?
He ripped Magic Johnson. He ripped Magic Johnson 3 times in a row and had Magic Johnson so shook.
Yes.
Right. That Norm Nixon had to bring the ball up.
On his documentary that Chris Rock did, Where is Michael Ray Richardson? Magic talked about that. That this is one of the guys that, I didn't have nothing for him. Like I said, I think I mentioned this before. Michael Ray ran a win-aided back then, 9.7 something.
Right.
Right? Win-aided or not, how fast is that?
For a dude 6'5".
For a dude 6'5".
Right.
And that's not in shoes. Like he flat out 6'5". Yeah. So he had all of what it took to be a superstar player. Physically, he had all of that. Let's get to the bad.
The bad. Oh boy. I knew it was gonna be some bad. All right.
And it's gonna get ugly real quick. He a mama's boy. And I don't use that term lightly because I'm a mama's boy. See what I'm saying? I'm probably still president of the organization. But here's the thing. When it came time for me to step out from under my mom's coat, and it's hard because my mom's is everything to me to this day. Everything. Right? I didn't have a problem with it. See what I'm saying? Maybe it's because I'm born and raised here in this concrete jungle.
Right.
So it's not like I'm from Denver, Colorado, coming here,
right,
coming to the bright lights, but he a mama's boy. And he a mama's boy with a whole lot of money in 1978, 79.
Right. Right.
And he a mama's boy with a whole lot of money around grown men.
Right.
And outside of Willis Reed and Holtzman, he gravitates to his peers and what his peers are doing. And at that time in the NBA, they used to call the Knickerbockers the Niggerbockers. Right? So the league itself was a cesspool of half serious ball players, half serious players, and you really want to tell it. I know, God, this dude right here, that used to play with, legend, Fly Williams, New York City legend, that a lot of those dudes was like, the plug, a lot of plugs in the league. So you had those three phases in the league, and he's caught somewhere in between that. And none of the older dudes is going, yo, go home.
Go home.
Practice.
Go work on your craft.
Go work on your
gym.
craft.
Yeah, none of that.
That's not happening. And you don't have the security personnel. You don't have the inside, the David Stern big brother hand watching everything that you do once you leave.
Remember, this is the Larry O'Brien era, remember?
Right. This is the
most crooked era of NBA basketball.
Absolutely.
Right here, the Larry O'Brien era.
You don't have that. We've talked about the pressure of New York from football, basketball, baseball, boxing, all of that, tennis, all of that. Everybody's not built to be here in these bright lights. He was not built, not that young guy, fresh, no whiskers on the chin, mama's boy, was not built to be here in these lights.
Right.
And it started the ruining of who he was. Let's go to the ugly.
There's a thing brewing in the chat. I want to get to it too.
Let's get it. Right. He became a full-on drug addict.
In New York.
In New York, in the tri-state area, the Knicks had to trade him. They got lucky because remember, when they make that trade, Bernard had problems himself.
Yes.
Bernard was an alcoholic.
Yep. We used to call them drunks, but yeah, alcoholic would work.
Okay, it sounds better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Bernard was a full-out drunk who was a New York, who was a Brooklyn legend that went to Tennessee, that had legendary moments in 3 years in Tennessee, the whole Bert and Ernie show, you've seen the ESPN documentary, that had a lot of demons inside of him from his family growing up in the projects and all of that, and just everything, having guns pulled on him by the police and all kinds of things that was eating at him, who needed to come back home. This is the part that you consistently keep missing, Freezie. One guy should have never been drafted here, and one guy needed to come back home, because when he came back home, it's like, and Boogie, I know you listening, it's like the king came home for his throne. When I think it was, I can't remember which magazine did it, but there's a magazine that put a king's crown on his head.
Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, it was the same thing when I think it was it The Source that gave Biggie the crown, that put the crown on Biggie's head.
Iconic, yeah.
It's iconic. It's undeniable. And once he came back here, Freezie, and this is facts, this is not conjecture, he went bananas. A short sampling of bananas, but he went bananas. He needed to come back home. Michael Ray needed to get the hell up out of here. And that's just facts. And the worst thing that happens during that time, Michael Ray somehow found himself back in the tri-state area with the Nets.
Yeah. And it's ironic because Bernard King started with the Nets and got traded out west because of similar problems. Like, yo, we can't have you this behavior, bro. You got to be a professional. You got Bernard King. You got to be a professional. Just because the game come easy, don't mean that you could just do what you want to do. This is the NBA. It's not just about basketball players. It's about lawyers, coaches, owners, logistics, all these things. You can't just misbehave just because you made it. That's why Bernard King got shipped out of here. So ultimately it's drug of choice. You know, one dude was on alcohol real bad, couldn't control himself, the nightlife. And the other dude legit had serious emotional problems, and his cure was drugs. Michael Ray Richardson legit showed up to a game with sneakers around his neck. You remember that? You're like, yo, this is the weirdest man. I ain't never seen something so. What? He missed a game. They found him sitting in a drug dealer car. You remember that?
They found him in a crack house at one time.
Yes.
Like, and this is, I hate, you know what I mean? Like, those things hurt me, especially when you associate them with young black men. So they hurt me to no ends. But that's just facts.
Right. And the sad thing is, this is just not a Michael Ray Richardson story for those that think we just talking about, think that I'm just bitter because the Knicks traded Michael Ray Richardson for Bernard King. I am bitter about that. I'm sore about that. Right. But this is a young guy coming to New York City story. This is a Dwight Gooden story. This is a Darryl Strawberry story. This is a Michael Ray Richardson story. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same parallel.
Yeah. So I'm frustrated that the process was not taken as seriously as it should have been. Right? The Larry O'Brien era of basketball, the early 70s through the early to mid 80s, was the worst era of basketball that we can remember. We don't even think about this. If I asked you to name all the NBA champs in order, starting at the beginning of the 70s, can't nobody even remember. It was a disaster.
No.
It was a disaster, bro.
You had some, but the one thing though is you did have some good play.
Yeah.
Because if you go back and look at some of those guys guys who came from the ABA, and this is why I mention it, guys who came from the ABA that finally got their shot at the big dance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of numbers and I'm not a numbers guy like that, but I already said go take a look at Bob McAdoo's numbers. So
look at David Thompson, the original Skywalker.
Look at some of these guys' numbers. I'm not talking about play. I'm just talking about straight numbers.
Straight numbers, bro. George Gervin.
Straight numbers. It's lost NBA numbers that you'll never see again. But I want to piggyback on the parallel you made with Doc and Darryl and Michael Ray.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Right.
The only difference is out of the three, Doc was already using illegal substances as a young kid.
Yeah.
You know, back in Tampa Bay, Florida, when he was flame throwing. And for those who don't remember, you know, Dwight Gooden, and I could talk about him as a Yankee fan because Mets don't got nothing on me because Doc helped us win the championship too. So we won and won. He helped us win 96, 10 years later. So we won and won.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the Mets, y'all wouldn't even have won in 96. Y'all was a disaster.
Absolutely. Because ex-Met players came on board, Doc, Dwight, and just added that certain something, that certain secret ingredients to help us, you know, along with some other key components. But
David Cone.
Dude, El Duque.
Yes. Darryl Strawberry wearing 39 for y'all.
El Duque in 98. But it's just it takes back to my old adage of management. But what I wanted to say with those two guys was, here they are. Doc is what, 19? Daryl is what? When Daryl gets here, Daryl was what, 19, 20?
21. Yeah, he's 21 when he got here.
And you put them in this fishbowl of these bright lights, and there's no one really to tell them that, look, go home.
Right.
Get some sleep.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, this
they should have had their mamas living with them at 20.
This here ain't for you.
Right.
See what I'm saying? This here is really not for you, because all that money you got in your pocket tonight, it ain't gonna be there by 6 a.m.
Right. And you know, and so that's the one thing I feel, that's the one thing I like about the word entourage. Like, when people hear entourage and they think the most negative, they think street crew, right? They think unqualified street crew, you know what I'm saying, in this professional setting. That's not what it is, bro.
But really and truly though, can you say an entourage is a positive influence? What is an entourage?
Well, this is because, look, AD, I'll tell you about some of my work experience, right? So I used to be in this thing, asset management, where I used to be around people who were worth multiple millions of dollars. I met $1 billionaire, right? And I was so awestruck, I couldn't even, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you are worth $1 billion? He was like, well, you know what I'm saying? Nobody really. So what he told me is like, Uncle Freezie, look, when billionaires get together, we don't talk about money. We talk about simple stuff like how these drinks taste. When we get around people that don't have money, you know what they want to talk about with us? Money. And so I was like, so what? He was like, well, how can you talk to me about money when you don't have any? You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? And I know I didn't take that as an insult, right? I took that as a sobering statement. Like, you know what? You got a real point right there, right? But the thing about him is, the thing about the millionaires and the billionaires that I've been around, they had people, they had entourages, they had legit people around them that did the simple tasks, so they couldn't be burdened with simple tasks. Like, if you were an NBA player, like, for instance, if you were an NBA player, you shouldn't have to worry about what sneakers you wear every night. You should have somebody, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you send in a message. Like, if you got a shoe deal, right? Say you got a shoe deal with Nike. You shouldn't be in direct contact with Nike over the shoes that you're gonna wear on certain days. What's my Christmas shoe gonna look like? Maybe you make the ultimate decision, but you don't do all legit. You get somebody to do that, and you don't have to pay them everything. You could just pay them something. Like, you shouldn't have to. For instance, your diet, like Mitchell Robinson doesn't have a private chef. LeBron James does, right? LeBron James' private chef is a part of his entourage. He traveled with LeBron to make sure LeBron James' diet is right? I'm not talking about an entourage where a dude is just sitting just around you with a Knicks jacket on and a gold chain, and he just hanging out just to be hanging out. Nah, you got to have people around you so that you can focus on doing the things that got you to the point where you are right now, right? So Michael Ray Richardson didn't have an entourage or a support system, so he had to do all these different things. He got to go get something to eat. Bro, he out in the street going to get something to eat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that. And you differentiated.
Right.
What you were talking about was a support system.
Right.
Not an entourage.
Right. What would you, so you don't want to call him an entourage because
no,
the entourage thing.
Because an entourage, you have Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus.
Yeah, a
that's
crew.
An entourage.
That's a crew. Right. Yeah.
That because the first or the second in sports annals, as far as you know, especially for Black super sports athletes, you take a look at Sugar Ray Robinson, right? Sugar Ray Robinson had an entourage where you had a guy just to park his car. Like, and I don't mean anywhere he went. You had a guy that would be there at his restaurant in Harlem specifically for that.
Right.
Just to park his car whenever he showed up at his restaurant in Harlem.
Right.
You see?
And he was tipping them too.
And you tipping them, you paying them, whatever. But the entourage is a negative in your overall sports life because they're not necessarily the supporting system that you need. They're what you want, right?
Right. Right. Okay.
You come out, you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're like, yo, I need Fruity Pebbles with champagne. Right?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
The entourage goes, I got that. Give me a moment. I'm gonna get that.
Right.
Most people on the face of the earth is gonna be like, where the hell am I getting Fruity Pebbles with champagne at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Right.
The entourage, because his lifeline goes, I got that.
Yep.
Give me a moment. Right? Because he knows that part of the crew knows every little nook and cranny, every little spot, every little thing that's open. And if he don't know, he gonna make a call because you know why?
He gonna make it work.
He gonna make it work.
Yep. Yep.
Right? You want, because remember, we come from an era where a female anatomy was considered the box. Right? You wake up in the middle of the morning, you like, yo, I need the box shaven, whatever. The entourage go, I got that.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. Got that. And make that happen. Because why? You have the lifeline. And when you look at great entourages,
and multiple people is available to get certain things. Yeah.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And even in the entourage, there's guys there that's gonna be like, yo, you better don't mess this up.
Right.
You see this train right here? Don't mess this up. If you want to,
it's the gravy train. It's the gravy train.
Stay a part of this gravy train right here. Who's one of the great entourage members that we can think of in modern times? Drew Bondini.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drew Bondini Brown. Drew Bondini Brown comes from Sugar Ray Robinson's camp.
Right.
He would tell you, I'm a black Jew. Right? In his time. He leaves from Sugar Ray Robinson, and all of a sudden he attaches himself some way, somehow. He ain't got no job description. He ain't got no resume.
Right.
He ain't going to the Louisville 10 Kentucky members who was financing at that time Cassius Clay and be like, yo, can I get a job with that guy? No. Nothing more than they went out one night. He looking, he's like, yo, that dude right there, I don't know who he is, but you know what? He the next best thing.
Yep.
And I'm gonna find a way. Next thing you know, he on TV quoting "Float Like a Butterfly."
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did until his dying day of diabetes.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Entourage. It can be good, but more times than not, it's fleeting. And when it goes bad, it goes bad. He sold Muhammad Ali's championship title. Not he sold it, he pawned it.
Pawned it, yeah. Yep. Yeah. But you know what the thing is what you're saying, man, is I agree with you. Right. And I so maybe we should clarify and call it support system. But either way, bro, you need a support system as an NBA player, bro.
Absolutely.
You got to have it. You got to have it. Because I when I was around the millionaires, right? And people don't understand to the degree what I'm saying. Like a millionaire is $1 million plus. So if you have $1,001 or $1 million, you know what I'm saying, you're a millionaire. But the scale from a millionaire that's got $1,100,000 to a dude with $10 million, is crazy.
Yeah.
The dude with $10 million legit is worth 10 times more than this millionaire.
Yeah.
Right? This other guy. And so like the attitudes and things are different. Like this dude that's worth $10 million is standing next to a dude that's worth $500 million, right? This dude is legit worth 50 times more than this dude that's worth $10 million.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And so when we speak to them, bro, their attitudes is different. They have support systems in place. Like we'd be in Miami, right? And I'd see a guy. I talk to him on the phone. Like I talk to legit. I would talk to somebody on the phone for 6 months, and maybe do conference calls with him, right? Hey, Uncle Freezie, and I'm like, hey, what's good? You know, I'm talking to him. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to lose. What, I'm gonna lose a job? I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm managing their little stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be myself. Right? I'm like, yo, what's good, man? I can't wait. Man, you was talking about that Rari. I can't wait to see it. He like, they told you I was driving it? Yeah, they told me. And it better be real. Right? So this is me joking around, and they're like, man, Uncle Freezie, you crazy. So this is my way to connect with them. They're like, what you driving? I'm not driving that. I'm flying down. I'm gonna get a rental car. And so I'm joking. You know what I'm saying? And so
how is it people with money at some point in time end up in Miami?
It's where they wanted. So there were conferences in Miami and Dallas, Texas. Nothing really up north. Nothing really in New York City. Mostly New Orleans, Miami, Dallas, Phoenix, Arizona, places like that where they want to, you know what I'm saying, meet it, because they want listen, man, they want to grind all day because work starts at 7:30, and they want to grind and establish relationships and all that stuff to about 3:45-ish, 4 o'clock. Right. And after that, it's like an after hours where we take our neckties off and we just mingle and socialize. And you know what I'm saying? I meet new people, new companies, and see what they have to offer my company. Like, listen, I heard about y'all new technology. You know what I'm saying? Another such and such company used it. They referred it to me. I got the demo. I just wanted to sit around it. And so we schedule stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's logistic stuff, man. It ain't nothing major. It ain't changing the world. It's how you order files electronically and all that stuff, whatever.
Right.
After 6:37, you know what I'm saying? Like the old timers, the old timers, they start making their way back to their room or whatever, and they, you know what I'm saying, they got a floor to themselves. Like, no, such and such floor is for the such and such party. And so that's all of them upstairs unwinding and blah, blah, blah. I get a suite to myself. It was dope, but it's always dope, but nothing the millionaires, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm, you know, at the end of the day, I was a worker bee, right? So, but then there is another hour. It's the 10 o'clock to 2:30-ish hour.
Uncle Freezie. It's Uncle Freezie hour.
When them dudes get down to come talk they ish about who they dominated in the game. Such and such tried to put me out of business, but I went to my staff and said such and such, and we implemented these new changes, and we watched them in the first quarter earnings. And then when I saw him at the such and such, I pointed at him, and he knew exactly. So when you hear him talk that millionaire stuff, you're like, yo, these cats is real people. But you know what, though? My point is, at that 10 o'clock hour, like at 10:01, that entourage back way off and let these dudes be themselves. Because in a professional setting, the entourage was always there. Like, well, we can't talk about that right now. We need to schedule a conference call where we can all get together, and then his admin assistant like look through the calendar, see what days are free, see if they can eat lunch while we in Miami or whatever. But at 10:01, all the entourage, all of them back up, and it's just these dudes being themselves, right? And what happened was I used to get invited to these things because they got a treat out of introducing me to stuff. Right. Like for instance, a dude, I don't want to say his name out of respect to him. Right?
Absolutely.
But he's a great dude, multi-millionaire, right? Mm-hmm. He was like, Uncle Freezie, so what do you know about cigars? I was like, shit, you light them and smoke them. And he laughed. He's like, ha, ha, ha. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro. So I'm like, I'm like, man, you just light them and smoke them, right? And so he laughed. He was like, you don't know about the wrappers, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know about the tobacco, and you don't know about the place of origin. I'm like, bro, I look at the price. Is it cheap or not? I got to make a decision.
Yes.
Am I gonna eat lunch or buy this cigar? You know what I'm saying? And so that was a treat. You know what I'm saying? That make them laugh. So I get invited to all these things. So they're like, so what do you know about wine? I was like, well, you got some cheap ones and some expensive ones, and you got some cheap and expensive ones, and you got some new ones and some old ones. That's basically me. That's all I know. So it's like, so do you drink port? It's like, drink port? What are you talking about? Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, oh, Uncle Freezie, you got to get out of this. He's like, you got to get out of that trailer park life. Because he knew that I was flipping mobile homes. Like, this is my come up is trying to flip mobile homes. Like, buy one, fix it up, rent it. You know what I'm saying? When I get to the end of the road with it, then sell it, get two more, fix them up, rent them, whatever. All right. So, like, nah, man. You know what a port is? I was like, nah. So he looked in the back. He was like, told the dude, like, bring me your 10 best ports. And the dude was like, and the waiter was like, what? He's like, hurry up. And the dude was like, you want me to bring you our 10 best ports? You know how much that costs? He was like, bro, I'm not concerned. I'm gonna just give it to my guys, right? So anyway, the bill come back, and the bill is like $3,700 for 10 bottles of wine. It's ports. I didn't know the difference. AD, listen, I don't spend $3,700 on alcohol all year.
Ever.
Okay. In one calendar year, I don't spend $3,700 on alcohol, bro.
That's like 5 years worth. That's like 5 years worth.
Right. So I'm with you. So my man is legit away from his entourage. The entourage thing is important for people to understand. The entourage in the support system is important, right? So we get into cigars. Cigars got us high. Like, guy, is this really tobacco? He's like, yes, this is tobacco.
There's something else.
Yeah. I'm like, you sure this ain't? No, he's like, nah, bro, I don't do that. Bro. Hey, listen.
Right.
Alcohol and tobacco. So I'm like, golly, so I'm smoking a cigar. And so I'm over there, I'm just like lit, right? So the dude is legit. He get to a certain limit. As soon as he starts slurring, the entourage come back, and they be like, man, hey, Uncle Freezie, we're gonna call it a night, man. It's been good talking to you, blah, blah, blah. The support system was right there the whole time. When he was spending money and was okay, was lit, they didn't say a word. But as soon as he got outside of himself, they rushed right back in and swooshed him off.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Saw him the next day. He was like, yo, how did you like the ports and stuff? I was like, it was something new, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yo, I got my people to box it up for you. I want you to take some of this home. Right. And I was thinking, like, how am I gonna get this on a flight? This is what I'm thinking, but you can't turn down a gift. Because the one thing about like say if me and you were together, you like, Uncle Freeze, I want to buy you a steak dinner. I'm like, nah, AD, I got you. Let me buy it this time. And so you get me next time. You don't see that as a slight because there's a next time.
Absolutely.
These dudes, when they offer you a gift, you gotta take it because they consider it an insult.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So who's this dude Uncle Freezie think he is, man? I'm pulling all my business from their company. So you can't, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is when the support system and entourage was there the whole time in that support type lane, you know what I'm saying, there to make sure my man didn't do something sideways. As soon as he got to the edge, they pulled him out, switched him away. Michael Ray Richardson, Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden, all these cats that struggle, they had enablers, right, with them. So when Michael Ray went in his pocket to start buying stuff, they was like, that ain't enough, champ. They think you broke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Buy the whole bar.
Yeah, for everybody. Free drinks for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a difference. Is what.
You see,
so I took a G-Man for life route to say what I just.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because the lesson here is somebody is keeping tabs. You see, everybody can be drunk, everybody can be nice, everybody can be having fun, but best believe that proprietor is doing what? He's keeping tabs, because what? That's his business establishment.
Right.
So whatever credit card you drop down, or whatever payment the entourage made, or whatever, best believe it's being accounted for. You see?
Right.
And that's the difference between a support system, an entourage, and you threw something in there, an enabler.
Enablers, yeah.
Who's like
you
who's
gotta
like
be
the
careful
worst
of
part
the
of the
enabler.
entourage.
Yeah. Because if you got a drug dealer in your entourage, then your entourage is ruined off rip.
Off rip.
Yep.
I saw where a couple of years ago where Lil Wayne did time because somewhere in his car or his caravan or whatever, they found a gun in there. Right? Mind you, everything here has Lil Wayne on it. It's his situation.
Right.
They didn't see him with the gun per se.
No, they didn't see him.
But it's his vehicles.
Yep.
Coming from his show.
Yep.
And everybody is basically traveling with him. So who is the big fish?
Yep.
Him.
And then it's a terrible look for Lil Wayne to be like, no, that's not mine, that's his. Because what people will do is attach the snitching stigma to a rap star, and he'll never sell another album again in his life.
And but here's the problem with that though, right there. Hold that point right there, Freezie. He's the lifeline.
Right.
100 of y'all should have jumped up and been like, that's my gun.
Right. But no, they can't do that though.
Right?
They can't do that.
100 of y'all should have jumped up and been like, nah, that's my gun.
Right.
Same thing like with Mike Vick and the dog fighting situation. Right? Y'all all sit around. Y'all know what he was doing. He was hosting the situation because it's Southern culture. And I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I know there's animal people out here probably watching, whatever, but let me tell you about some cultures and things that goes on that even though you don't like it, you know what I'm saying, it still goes on. See what I'm saying? That's a part of some Southern cultures that not even Southern culture, but talk about certain way of life for certain folks that who lead.
Whether you agree with it or not.
Whether you agree with it or not, it's going on. See what I'm saying? Right. He's the lifeline. None of y'all jumped up to take this rap, and y'all are part of the entourage.
And you know what? And a lot of the time, they said when it was going on, Mike Vick wasn't even there.
How could he be there?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
How could he be there with an NFL contract?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
With NFL ties.
Right. No, see, I got you. I feel you.
And that's the part of the entourage that is so dumb, because you let a 24-year-old go to jail for 3 years.
Yeah.
And when he went to jail, none of y'all got nothing.
Right. But here's the thing: while he was away, the crew was cutting up, making the whole scenario look worse. You know what I'm saying? Your brother getting cut because he missing practice. He like, I'm Marcus Vick. No, bro, you are Marcus Vick. You're not Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying?
You might as well drop your first name, because don't nobody care about that first name besides Mike.
Right. The only ones that care is his parents. Nobody else care. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I get what you're saying, and so we extended the ugly segment. Sometimes y'all, we just gotta extend,
because sometimes ugly is real ugly.
Yeah, and sometimes you just gotta pull back everything and expose the ugly for what it is.
Because when ugly is ugly, it's real ugly. And I've hung out with dudes that had real money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't got real money today.
Right.
But they had real money then.
Hey, D, some people, they be thinking I have real money. I don't have real money, bro. Did I just tell you about the dudes that I used to go to conferences and stuff with? They
Absolutely.
have they have real live legit money, right? They have generational wealth, life-changing money. Not me. You know what I'm saying? You know, so but the thing is though, with the Michael Ray Richardson thing, I think the Knicks should have handled it different. I think the NBA should have handled it differently, but at the same time, they enabled the cocaine culture.
If they enabled it, if there's one thing that David Stern did well, right? And I've had my problems with David Stern over the years, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to kick dirt on a dead man. But when they threw him out of the game, because he himself said it saved his life.
Right.
Because being in the NBA, being in that fast life, you know it. When you in that fast life, you know what I'm saying? To quote Nas and Coogee Rap, living in the fast life. Right. You know what I'm saying? When you in that fast life, it's fast.
Yes. And it don't slow down for you. It run you over.
It don't slow down for you.
It run you over. Ain't no timeouts. Ain't no time. This ain't.
And to put a caveat on top of it, when you young and in that fast life, you think you're invincible. You think you can do anything because you're young and you're in this fast life.
Right.
You know, you're asking for champagne and fruity pebbles.
Right. Right.
You know, you're asking for dumb things that you never normally eat. Yeah, I want macaroni. I want macaroni with crisp bacon and avocado and all kinds of weird dumb shit that you normally don't eat, that you didn't grow up eating. But
you busting up hotel rooms and you got to pay for it. You know,
that you have to pay for.
Right. Right.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to pay for that. Your entourage and these people that introducing you to folks that they're there for that moment. You see what I'm saying? Remember that? You remember that movie, Lady Sings the Blues?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
Some of the great.
Billy D. Williams was at the top of the staircase, crispy clean, boy.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
But some of the great Richard Pryor scenes as Piano Man. God rest the dead, Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
And he's like, lady, you ain't got to do this. Lady, you ain't got to do this. Yo, lady, I got to connect. You ain't got to do this. Yo, he right here. He's selling burnt. He's selling, you know, whatever. And the owner of Motown at the time,
Berry Gordy.
Berry Gordy's playing the drug dealer. And Berry Gordy slapped him. Right? Berry Gordy slapped him like two little fingers, four finger slap. Yeah. And he said, "Man, come on, man. You ain't had to do that. You ain't had to do." But both of these parts are part of the entourage. Piano Man is part of the entourage. The drug dealer is part of the entourage. Yeah. And the weaker part of the entourage is trying to tell the star, "I got this. I can do this for you." Right. See what I'm saying? You don't need this. Right. See what I'm saying? You definitely don't need this. What are we going with this? Let's leave this alone, right? And he's cussing out the drug dealer. And the drug dealer is like, "Yo, are you talking about me? And I'm standing right here."
Right. Yeah.
Hold these two slaps. Yeah. Right? When you're young, and I've made this point before, you're only going to be young once.
Yep.
You see? You're only going to be talented that one time. To make an ill decision based off of your drug-induced state or based off of a euphoric moment because you think you're on top of the world, it's the worst decision you can ever make in life. And I'm not preaching, but I'm just telling.
Yeah. So AD, I wanna wrap up here, man, because the game come on at 3:30. And so I want to get something, go grab something and do something real quick before the game come on.
What game come on at 3:30? The Giants?
Yeah, the Giants and the Bears. Who the Jets playing? Who the Jets playing today?
We play Tampa tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
We play Tampa Tom tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I think I like y'all chances in that game.
I
maybe
don't.
not.
I don't.
Maybe
I
not.
don't want to like our chances in that.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm
so
fine. I'm fine with my 4 wins. I'm good with that.
them. So hey, thank you everybody for coming through, man. Y'all got a double dose this morning, man. The game gonna come on. We're gonna jump on after the game, probably for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour to do a quick recap. Thanks again, AD, sir, as usual. It's always dope. People that watch the show, the gems. So there was some gems dropped today, man. So and I know when he hit you, when he hit you with a whole bunch of gems, they're hard to carry. So sometimes you're gonna drop some of them gems. Just come back and pick them up for later on. But AD, we're gonna get out of here, man. Hey, peace
Uncle
out to
Freezie,
everybody. We'll
as
holler at y'all.
always, Happy New Year. Peace out to everybody. Love is love. Please stay safe out there. Again, this thing hasn't gone anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere. So hopefully we see you next Sunday right here.
Bim. And there it is.
Knicks family for life. You know what it
All right,
is.
y'all.